Hey everyone, this is Tony Chiappetto of Chiappetto Shoes. This is Workshop Live, where we look at all things orthotics and foot health. Today we have an interesting project where we're working on a Fin Comfort Gomera, decently worn, fair amount of wear on the bottom, but this sandal is owned by a customer that just got a new pair of custom orthotics. Now, as we make custom orthotics, we make a plaster mold of the foot. Now this plaster mold is custom molded. I can go on for hours about the style in which we do a custom orthotic, but when we look at the setup of a custom orthotic, the impression process is really important. Outside of that, the beauty of having a plaster mold like this is that not only can we use them for making custom orthotics, but we can actually take the insert from sandals and mold them onto the foot. This customer has a fallen arch situation. I believe it's about a D16 foot type, and what we're dealing with here is a fair amount of pronation, so we're looking to give it some more control and give it that custom fit feeling to it. It is, like I said, decently worn, and it is broken in and molded really nicely, but we're just going to give it a little extra loving and make it fit like a glove. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take these Fin Comfort inserts and we're going to clean them up. Super easy project. We're going to take it to the grinding machine over here. Alright, so we just cleaned up the footbed. Now that's something that we do for a lot of sandals, just it's easy to clean up as long as the insert top is a leather. We do the same thing with Birkenstocks too, so we just wanted to get it cleaned up. Now this customer also had a fourth metatarsal corn and really deep kind of heavy callousing. We're going to take this off as well, and we're going to start fresh. So as a part of the molding process, the cork is moldable because we can heat it up, but we're also going to fill in the base layer with an extra firm material called extra firm plastizote. This is 110 durometer, super lightweight. It's almost like a styrofoam based material, and we like using this for athletic orthotics. Anything that we're looking to give as lightweight setup as possible. So this works really well. There's two different durometers that we get from Acor, 110 and then 70. 70 is a little bit too soft in most cases, and the 110, it's not too firm, because when you're making modifications, which we'll get into in a sec, you have to consider if you're adding something to the bottom, it has to be firmer than the top layer for it to translate into the foot proper. That's an important note when you're doing these. So we're going to take this off. Okay, so the next step is we want to take this extra firm plastizote material, styrofoam based material, and apply it to the orthotic. Now when we do this, we're going to want to take out about 1/8 of an inch of material from the insert itself. So this has, we don't want to take up too much space. We're going to add a little bit of material, particularly to fill in, you know, the contour and shape that we're looking to fill in. But you always have to consider when you're making modifications to inserts, whether it's custom, over the counter, or, you know, a sandal insert, you have to consider the spatial aspects of what you're working with. So what we're going to do is take these inserts and we're going to draw a baseline for where the mets are. Now you can take it right at the mets, you can take it about a 1/2 inch behind that. We're going to take it at the mets and give this a full amount of shape. I always like to be uniform when we're doing these. So we have our template here. Perfecto. Alright, now we're going to want to take out about 1/8 of an inch of material from here back. So we have this plastic out that we can fill that in with. So take a look at this. Normally, you know, for any novice, you're going to want to draw a line and take it down. I've been doing this my whole life, so we're just going to do it by hand and eyeball it. So. If you want, you can set your line and then work back and then graduate that up at the end. There we go, thinned out. Now I'm going to get this glued up and get it ready. Second one. There you go. Now when you're grinding, it's important to note that it's not about the pressure. It's about patience, and it's about the touch, the feeling of feeling underneath the base as you're touching it, how you're feeling when you're pushing up. It's about feeling those guidelines as you're grinding. So it's an important little aspect of being a good wheelman. I like calling it wheelman. If you're grinding on a grinding wheel, wheelman. I like it. I'll work with it. Anyways, so we have the thinned out insert. We have the Plastizote material glued and heated on the oven over here. And we have the molds on the compression forming vacuums. And we are pretty much set. We're going to let that glue dry just for a minute. It's pretty good. Now, Plastizote, you're going to want to give it a solid, let's see, about a minute and 15. You can overheat this stuff, so that's an important note. Keep it at 350. We're going to go a minute 15. With this, it tends to get gummy. Typically, I don't use heat gloves. It doesn't get too hot to the touch. Some materials like subortholene or plastics can get really hot. This stuff, because it's a much more porous or less dense, it's super hard, but it's very low density. So that's why it has that lightweight touch to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply it to this and then get it on the vacuum former over here. This is, again, it's a great way to give additional uses for custom orthotic molds, the molds of a foot. And it's a great way to give your customers, or if customers are washing, it's a great way to just ensure you're going to have the best setup for your feet. Sometimes our feet need that. And, at Chiapetta Shoes, we see a lot of crazy stuff here. I like to say I can never say I've seen everything. And it's very true, because a lot of weird stuff can happen to the feet. So we're going to get that. Now I'm going to do a light cut real quick. I don't need all that material wrapping around the side. We're not looking for additional side contour. We're looking for more so contour from the base. All right, perfecto. Next one up. All right. So we got another minute 15. Second one in there. We're gonna let this mold and sit for about, I'd say maybe somewhere in the range of 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how hot it feels. Plastizote does cool relatively quickly, and it solidifies its shape very nicely, and that's easy to work with. More gummier materials like multi-cork, which you see on a lot of our custom orthotics, or we use that for a lot of our modifications on over-the-counter inserts. This is a material that's really flexible. It's a cork and EVA combination. That stuff, it takes a longer time to cool down because it's got a higher density. It's usually, most of the multi-cork that we use is about 55 durometer. We do like 65 durometer as well for specific cases too. All right. While we got these molding, we are going to give these sandals a little loving. We'll give them a little polish job. And once that's done, we're going to taper the inserts, and we're going to be set. Before, this customer had a kind of like a met cutout on the bottom of the inserts. We're going to add one additional piece. We'll add one additional piece to the insert before we're all finished up. Alright. When you're forming these, you have to make sure everything is in the right spot, because when you put the vacuum bladder down, it tends to pull the insert back a little bit. That's just one little note that I've picked up over the years. Perfect. Alright. So we got the Gomera sandal, Fin Comfort Gomera sandal, made in Germany. These things are amazing. Perennially, this is a top 10 selling item at Chiapetta Shoes every single summer. We carry it in about 10 different colors. I'm a big fan, and we do sell a lot of these puppies. Fiebing's Leather Balm is kind of a preferred choice for any kind of neutral polish. It's about the same as like Venetian shoe cream. Same type of consistency, same type of polish. With this one in particular, you can get kind of the edges, and I'm going to condition that leather. This stitch is a contrasting stitch. You got black leather with the kind of the cream or the white stitch right there. So I could use a black polish, but you're going to lose that accent mark. So we usually use neutral polish on here. And just get that on there. Typically like to get the sole a little bit. This is a polyurethane sole. These things are durable as all get out. Clean that up a little bit. Alright, same thing, left side. So, you know, if you're a customer and you're watching this, you're going to see some additional uses. So if you buy a custom orthotic from us, we can do a whole lot with those molds. We have a lot of flight attendants that wear pumps, or we used to. I think that'll be coming back, but for flight attendants, you know, a lot of the pumps that you find out there, there's zero space for any kind of over-the-counter or custom orthotic. But if you have a mold like this, we can actually pull out the really thin standard insert and do essentially the same thing without taking up too much space, and then inserting it back into there. So it's just a nice way to get a little extra utilization out of the plaster molds that we make. Yeah, so alright, got that. Give it a little heat with that leather balm bacon just a touch. When you do heat up any shoe, typically I recommend about 800 degrees Fahrenheit on there, just because you don't want to go too hot. And you got to be careful whenever there's Velcro or elastic. It's real easy to accidentally melt that. I've done that before, so you just got to be careful about that. I like to singe some of the little stitches that are around the edge there. So we're going to give the molds another probably minute. As soon as I get done with the cleanup job on the sandals, we can reshape the inserts, add a little extra met contour, and then we're going to be set for today, guys. So I appreciate everybody chiming in. I don't think we have too many viewers right now, but our intention is to save these videos, edit them down to a digestible chunk, and then re-release it. So, alright, those cleaned up, they look good. Alright, So we have our fin comfort insert. We have the plastic out added on to the bottom. Now we got to plane that off. Have this planed off, graduated from the front and to the side. We're not leaving it too thick. Custom molded. And voila, left side's done. You always want to kind of give it the nice run through, the touch, and you just want to feel and graduate your fingers over the medial, lateral, and longitudinal arch. Make sure you get that nice smooth transition. And there we go. Now we're going to add a met pad out of sponge rubber. This is going to be the last step that we take. Again, material-wise, you have to go firmer underneath. When we're adding modifications. If you go too soft, it's just going to flatten and compress. So we're going to add a met pad. We're not doing the cutout. I want to explore that option later. The last time we sat down with this customer, the corn underneath the foot was a whole lot better because she had been wearing the custom orthotics for about 2 weeks at that point, and the corn was less of an issue, so it was less sensitive and feeling a lot better. So we just want to add a little bit more matte contour, and then we're going to be set for today, guys. So this is a Fin Comfort Gomera. We are doing a semi-custom modification using the plaster molds that this customer has from our custom orthotics. It's another reason for any practitioners out there, CPEDs, this is our custom orthotic mold. Look at that finish. Nobody makes molds like this. This is the best mold out there. You should do it the way too. It gives us a wide variety of things that we can do to help the customer out. So So when we do this, for any customers that are watching, we typically charge anywhere between $50 to $75 for a modification like this. This job is a $75 job, just because they had the extra met pad on there, and typically like a single step mod. So if we're just doing one layer, it would be $50. With this one in particular, it's going to be a $75. So relatively speaking, it's not cheap, but if we can ensure that we get the best setup for the foot, you know, we have a lot of success with that. So that's been a good way to do things. All right, so we got the met pad going on, and then we're going to be set for today. So the Fin Comfort Gomera, again, a great sandal as is. I mean, it's the insert that these come with, these mold a whole lot. They do a great job for most people. And sometimes we just have to go the extra mile and give feet as much possible contours as we can. Now with the fallen arch, a D16 was supposed to be a tendon issues. You know, sandals aren't the absolute best thing, but if you have an upper that really wraps around the foot, the Gomera has 3 straps that are in perfect placement, really adjustable. The back strap is also adjustable too, so it's just a really nice sandal. And again, we typically carry it in about, I think we got 9 colors this season. In a normal year, we'd probably cover about 12. I think things are back to normal. I'm pretty excited. So, Chia Peta Shoes is not requiring masks. I'm not recommending masks in the shop. I want to be a human again. So yeah, and I'd say so far this week about 90% of customers have been pretty happy about that. So still some people wearing masks. I respect that, and do whatever you want, but I think by the end of next week we're done with the masks. So yeah, so we got one last step going on. Contact cement that we've talked about over the years is needs a little time to heat up, or a little time to cure, and then we'll heat it to activate the bond process. And since I have the molds, I'm going to throw these puppies on there, so you really do get the best bonding process using the mold. The compression molding is the key when it comes to a good bond. So yeah, there you go. We'll let this sit for about 30 seconds. Don't need too much time. Get that pressed on there real nice. Take it to the grinding machine. Smooth it out. Make sure we hit both sides. Really focus on that 2nd to 4th met head, and then we're set for today, baby. So yeah. Well, once again, Tony Chiappetta Shoes. This has been Workshop Live. Today we did a semi-custom mold of a Fin Comfort insert for the Fin Comfort Gomera. Super comfy, gonna be perfecto for this customer. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later. Ciao!